I'll directly jump into this topics. Yeah, fine. So, yeah,
Narsimha, can you speak some more loud?
oh, is it fine now? Can you hear me, guys? All of you.
Hi Narsima, we can hear you, but your voice is little feeble.
Okay. So I request everyone to go on a mute so that there won't be any disturbance and there won't be any fuel issue. Yeah. So yeah, Agarwal, probably you need to go on a mute. Others as well. Yeah. So I request everyone to go on a mute. Yeah. Yeah. So now let's get started. Yeah. So let us try to understand the life cycle of what we have within this Informatica information management. After that, we will start understanding like where exactly this Informatica cloud comes in, right? Then we'll pitch into the details of Informatica cloud architecture, then followed by the specific topics within this Informatica cloud, right? So let me share my desktop. So I hope all of you could able to see my desktop, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Amrita, thanks, Amrita. So fine. So now let's understand the life cycle. I'll not spend much time because we have only 4 days, right? We need 8, 9 days extra to cover. Fine. So whatever best I can, I'll do that. Yeah. So remember, guys. So before we get into this Informatica cloud, so we need to understand what comes in, what happens, what goes out, right? So input is going to be the access layer, yeah. So and then once we have access to any source system data, then we can start carrying out analysis. That's where discover layer comes in, then followed by cleanse layer, yeah. Then followed by MDM layer, then we have got integration layer, then we have deliver, and finally we deliver to what enterprise data warehouse, EDW. Fine. So I'll just add some bullet points for each of these layers, and in case if anybody has got any questions, right, you can always stop me and ask questions, any kind of questions, guys. Yeah, because let us try to make it more interactive session. Fine. So any kind of question, anytime you can ask me. Yeah? Fine, could be simple or complex or medium, any kind of question. Fine. Yeah, access layer is going to help us in order to read the data from one or more source systems. Remember, guys. Now the question: what kind of data that would be read by using this particular
I
access
Narsima,
layer? Yes, please.
can you be a bit more louder?
Oh, really, guys? How about others? Prashant, Krishna, all could able to hear me?
It is low.
Agarwal, all.
Your voice is too low.
Oh, Priyanka also same. How about others? Gopi, all.
Yeah, I think the volume is low from your side. That's the thing I feel like.
Or you can just increase your volume, no?
Uh, I think you can just check it. Everybody is facing the same low volume issue.
Oh my god. Yeah. Is it better now? Guys, can you hear me now?
Sir, once you log out and log in again,
Okay. Oh, you can't hear me, huh?
yeah, we can hear you, but your voice is too low.
Oh, even now also.
Yeah. So,
What happened?
sir, meanwhile, can I provide the pretest to participants?
Yeah, let them take the test.
So,
Yeah, let them take the test. Yeah.
your team, I have shared the pretest link in the chat. I request all please take the assessment. And once you've done the assessment, kindly let us know in the chat box. Will hardly take 10 to 15 minutes. Thank you.
Malesh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear
Hello,
you, sir.
Malesh?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir. Yeah, what about others?
Oh, not hear you. Yeah. Malesh, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Is it fine now?
Yeah, fine. What about others? Team?
Shruti.
Yeah, it is fine better now.
Okay, thank you. So I think the pretest is going on, right? So we'll wait for
Yes,
five
sir.
more minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, team, once you've done the pretest, kindly let us know in the chat box. Thank you.
Yeah, fine then. So I think these 10 minutes got over, right? So let's continue, guys. So I'm trying to share my desktop. Yeah, fine. So I was trying to talk about what access layer, so which is going to help us in order to read the data from one or more source systems. Yeah. Now the question, what kind of data that would be read by information management, right? That's a question, right? So which means, can we read data from files or tables or whatever, right? You can think of many what I call possible cases. Yeah? But if you think from a broader perspective, the first and foremost category would be what? The structured data. And second category would be unstructured data. And third would be application oriented data. And fourth, legacy. And fifth, machine learning or artificial intelligence state. Yeah? So these are the five broader categories of source system data. Remember that, right? I'll just give one example for which, then we'll come out from that because we have very short time, so I'll not cover many examples here. So now, if you go with what structured data, so how do you define this? Yeah? If the input data that is represented with a well format or well predefined specification, then we can say that it's a structured data. It's as simple as that. Huh? So which means proper format should be defined. Then only we can say that data would be part of structured category. Yeah? So now let us take one simple example so that you'll understand it practically. So let's say we have got three columns, namely C1, C2 and C3, and corresponding data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and so on. So now tell me guys, just by looking at the data, can we say that it's a structured or not? Answer is what? Yeah. So what's the answer to the question? So just by looking at this sample data, like we've got C1, C2, C3 columns with corresponding data. So is it a structured or not? Yeah. Yes or no?
Structure.
Okay. Why? Yeah. The reason is what? We have got a proper format. So now the question, how do you expect or what kind of format that we have within this sample data? Now the question, let us say guys, the format would be expressed based on what? One, column delimiter, right? I repeat, the format would be expressed based on what? Column delimiter. And what is the column delimiter we have? Between C1 and C2, we got a comma, right? Yes or no? Then C2 and C3 also we got a comma, right? So which means, so every row follows between fields, right? The same delimiter. As a result, we can say that, so this particular column data is part of what? Structured category. Fine. Now the question, format could also be expressed based on what? Row delimiter. Now what is the row delimiter that we have within the sample data? So between first and second, there is a new line. Yes or no? So we can express new line by using what? Backslash n. Yes or no? Then we have got what I call, and every row is ended with what? New line. So in this case also, this is going to be structured data, because every line or every row follows what? Similar format specifier, which is /n, right? Now the question, last one, which is going to be end of file marker, is this particular sample file ended with empty or EOF marker or not? Answer is what? Yes. As a result, this also would be part of what? Structured. So whatever format specifies supported by any IM product for any flat file, right? They're all satisfied here. As a result of it, so we can say that input data would be treated as what? Structured data. Clear, right? Now let us take another example, which is, let us say, database. Now, so remember guys, if you say database, from where this particular database has been derived, or database objects have been derived. So to answer that, we got RDBMS, which is Relational Database Management Systems. Yes or no? So we have got object oriented database management system, but it's almost obsolete. That's why I'm not trying to talk about that particular database management system. Now in this case, if the data which is relational, yes or no, and that too, this relational data follows what? RDBMS standard. What is that RDBMS? DBMS is going to be the specification defined by RDBMS expert group. So which means there is a pre-built specification defined by RDBMS expert group. Yes or no? Now the question, once we have pre-built specification, there is a there are predefined instructions. We just need to follow those instructions. Then only we can say that it's a structured data. Yes or no? For example, whatever DB objects, for example, if you take any vendor, like we have IBM vendor, and we have got many other vendors like Oracle or whatever, right? They all have got their own databases. Yes or no? Like Oracle, DB2, SQL Server, MySQL, Postgre, whatever. Yes or no? Now, if they say that their database is what? RDBMS database, they need to follow all the specs defined by RDBMS expert group. Then only these vendors can claim that their database is in compliance with the RDBMS standard or specification. Now, let us say we have got Oracle database, which is anyway RDBMS database. Now, which means whatever DB object that we take under Oracle would be part of what? Structured. So let us take one example. So now you need to answer this question. Let's say we have got 3 rows or 2 rows. Let's say R1 and R2, and columns C1, C2, and C3. Now, I repeat, we have got 3 columns and 2 rows over here. Now, let's say we got data 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's it. So this is sample data that we have within this particular example. Now, tell me, how do you get the data belonging to grid 1? That's a question, right? So now, if we call back this mathematics, where we have got matrix, yeah, so we can use matrix over here in order to pull out the data from what? Grid 1. For instance, let's say we have got R1, C1, then we could able to pull value 1. Similarly, R1, C2, we can pull what? Value 2, and so. So which means this is one of the spec that we have under this particular RDBMS specification. That is why whatever data that we are under this relational table, right? It is part of structured data. Yeah? So that's one more example. So now let us take another one, which is a very important thing in the context of what? Informatica cloud. Remember guys, XML. XML is what? A markup language, which is extended markup language. Yes or no? Yeah. So now remember guys, what is a language? Language would contain predefined set of instructions. Yes or no? Or predefined programmable instructions. Yes or no? Which means it is predefined again. So if it is a predefined, right, whatever they in the sense XML guys, right, they should follow, right? For example, if they follow 2.0, which is 2.0 specification, then whatever data or metadata that we put within XML, right, that should be in compliance with 2.0 specification. Then only they can say that XML is in line with what we expect as part of the specification. Right now, let us take simple example to understand how the XML file would look like and how one can able to retrieve the data from an XML file. Right. For example, let us take a simple example. Let's say we have got a root and then followed by child, then followed by grandchild. Underneath, we got, let us say, key value pairs. For instance, key equal to C1 and corresponding value would be, let's say, 1, 2, 3 and close tag. Likewise, we can add n number of attributes within this XML. Yeah? So now we can close this particular grandchildren with a close tag, then children with a close tag. Yeah? So then followed by what I call close root. So this way we can simply create what? XML file. Once we are done with that, now reader part starts. As part of reading, what has to be taken into consideration? So to answer that, so we need to start making use of one of the predefined spec as part of XML 2.0 is what? XPath. XPath is an indicator measure of XML path. What it does, it is going to navigate from top to bottommost element. In the sense, for example, here, in order to get to this particular C1 attribute, so we need to traverse all the way from root, child, and grandchild. Underneath, we could able to pull the value corresponds to attribute C1. Yes or no? Now, let us try to build this particular XPath based on this XML. So, this is what is going to be XPath and attribute. Then, from this particular XPath, one can able to start retrieving the value corresponding to C1 attribute. That's it. So, likewise, depending upon the level or depending upon the n number of levels, one can specify the corresponding XPath, and based on the XPath, we could able to pull the data corresponds to relevant attributes in accordance with that. That's it. Clear, right? For instance, let us take child level attribute. Yeah, I'll just try to make a copy of this and paste it over here. And then that's a key is equal to C2 and value, let us say 1. Yeah. So which means here we are trying to what we call have this particular what attribute at child level. You can see child level attribute, right? So in this, what is XPath guys here? XPath is going to be root, child, followed by C2. So this way, we could able to pull the value corresponds to C2 attribute. Likewise, you can have hybrid XML or heterogeneous XML, or it could be even XML which contains what? N number of different kinds of levels, but any level that we have within this XML, right? We can pull or we can get the value corresponds to any attribute by specifying the location. That's it. Yeah. Clear, guys, to everyone? So that's it. So that is why we can also call it as this particular XML is part of structure. Likewise, you can think of several examples, guys, like data from Excel sheet or whatever, right? They're all part of XML. Sorry, structured. Now, let us talk about another category, which is application category. So how to define an application, guys? Application is a process. What is a process? It's a program under execution. Yes or no? What's a program? It would contains what? N number of predefined set of instructions. So we all know that, right? Which means here also we have got predefined instructions. Yeah. So which means one can able to pull the data from an application without any issues. For example, in these applications, there are two categories we have. One is going to be predefined application, and second is going to be what? Custom defined application. For example, if you go to predefined application, you know, it is an application which is defined by somebody else. We as a user need to know how to talk to that application in order to obtain the data corresponding to the relevant module, right? For example, let us say we have got SAP, then we got a cyle, and then PeopleSoft, and any CRM application or any MRP application, whatever, right? There are what? Pre-built, either packages or applications. Yeah. So now the question, let us take one of them, SAP. So what we need to have in order to get data from relevant module of SAP? To do that, first thing we have to have a connector. Yeah. So connector is going to help us to talk to SAP. So SAP connector need to be installed. Then provide one or more inputs to this particular connector so that we could able to interact with what SAP and pull the data corresponds to relevant module. So that's how we could able to take care of predefined application. Likewise, same concept holds good to deal with what the rest of the applications that we could able to see over here. Clear, guys? So that's it. Now the next question. Let us say we have got a custom application. Custom is what? Anything which can't be taken care by Informatica Cloud. For example, can we perform anything and everything by using any tool? Answer is no. So same thing is applicable even for what? Informatica Cloud. So Informatica Cloud itself has got its own limitations. Now the question, do we have any way to take care of those limitations? Answer is yes. So that's where custom applications are going to help us in order to resolve such kind of problems, right? Yes or no? For example, let us say we can build custom application by using any programming language like a C, C++, Java, Lua, Smalltalk, Python, whatever. So whichever language you know, you can just build your own newer functionality which is not as part of cloud. So, so build application. Let's say we are using Java. So Java, let's say we need to get sum of a natural numbers where we supply number as input. So we should get what? Return value as what? Sum of a natural numbers. Like for example, n into n plus 1 by 2. Yes or no? We all know that, right? Yeah. So which means we need to start what I call uh, we need to write a code. I'm just trying to talk about template. Yeah. So here, we'll put this code under main, right? System public void main or whatever, right? Static void main we have, right? Array of strings as argument. We all know that. So I'll not get into that because that's not part of this. So that's it. Now the question. So now what we need to do? We need to convert that to usable form. To do that, we can use Java C followed by sum.java, then it is going to create what? Sum.class. Yes or no? Sorry. Likewise, we can create n number of class files. Now the question, how are we going to collect all of them and put it in what? One usable form. That's where jar comes in. Jar means what? Java archive followed by CVF compress verbose and force with n number of class files. As a result of that, we could able to get what I call it as a jar file, sum.jar. So jar file will get it. Result is going to be sum.jar. Now deploy this particular sum.jar. Repeat, deploy sum.jar onto the deployment location of Tomcat or application server recall. Yes or no? App server. So like we have Tomcat deploy folder, right? Or we can also place wherever you want, but we need to supply the class path. Then we could able to use it. So these are the steps that we all need to follow in order to extend the functionality. So any kind of functionality, guys, I'm just trying to show one simple example just to make you to understand. But we can write any complex logic, and that particular complex logic can be reused within Informatica Cloud. I'll try to talk about with one practical example within Informatica Cloud so that you will understand better. Fine. So that's it. Now let us start understanding what I call another category, which is legacy category. So any questions from anybody, guys, so far? Teja, Krishna, Kumar, Prashant, Sruti, all.
I'm good, Narsima.
Okay, fine. So now let us start understanding another category which we call legacy category. So legacy means what? Traditional. Yes or no? Traditional systems. Or older systems. So now the question, let us say there are some functionalities which are built by using what? Traditional systems. Like we have thinking machines. Yes or no? I repeat, we have got thinking machines. Then we got bar readers. Then we have got mainframe systems. These are the examples of legacy systems. Now the question, how to avail the functionalities that are defined as part of these legacy systems? That's a question. Yes or no? Answer is very simple here. We just have to have one pack or utility which has to be installed. Through that utility or a pack, we can talk to this particular mainframe system to get the data. That's it. Yeah. Like for example, or another way is what? We can go to mainframe server and start what we call performing export and create one intermediate file which we call complex flat file. Yeah. So once you create it and FTP this to your local system, so once you get this onto the local system, then you can read this particular file by using what? A pack, which is what? Mainframe pack. That's it. So this way we could able to start obtaining the data based on what? Mainframe system. This is one way. But other way is what? We can also directly talk to mainframe server and start pulling the data. But we normally don't use it because one, it is a complex. Second, there could be some delays because of what? Network issues or some server issues or some client side issues, whatever. Reasons could be of any sort, but issues would occur. But if you want to get the real-time data transactional data, then we can go with what? Interacting with mainframe server directly by taking care of all the issues that we discussed just now, right? So that's it. Now the question, nowadays we all know that trend is towards machine learning and artificial intelligence, where one can start building what? N number of bots or robots through which we could able to make the things automated. Yeah. So but how do they work? This works based on what? Predictive measures. Yeah. So this is one of the important things, guys. Even Informatica Cloud also partially based on what? Artificial intelligence. Yeah. So which means we can have predictive measures, and based on that, one can start producing the data. Now, as a result of it, from Informatica Cloud, can we read the data which is produced by through based what we call through AI systems, which in turn would refer appropriate machine learning algorithms? Answer is what? Yes. Yeah. So which means once you could able to pull the data, thereafter we can start applying appropriate Informatica Cloud data integration operations to meet the customer demands. Yes or no? So that's it. That's where this particular artificial intelligence is going to help us to meet our requirements, right? Now, another category is going to be what? Unstructured data, right? So, unstructured data is quite opposite to structured. Yes or no? Meaning what? If the data which is not represented in homogeneous or with a predefined format, then we can say that it's unstructured data. Now, remember guys, this was an important topic in the context of Informatica Cloud, because Informatica Cloud has got built-in intelligence in order to take care of converting unstructured to what? Structured data. Remember that. Yeah. So which means it has got pre-built intelligence that is built by Informatica. We just need to know how to make use of it. Yeah. So which means, for example, if you take data from PDF documents, or if you take data from Word documents, or if you try to take data from email, or if you take the data from social media sites like a Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever, right? Or if you take data from log files. Yeah? So now we'll have mix of different types based on this particular selected or highlighted inputs like documents or mail, social media, log files, images, whatever. Now the question, how are we going to read data? So within Informatica Cloud, it has got built-in intelligence which is going to help us in order to what? Convert unstructured to structured data. Remember guys. So why? Because this PDF document is a collection of several types. Yes or no? Like it will have a simple text, complex text, paragraphs, embedded links, embedded objects, tables, references, and so on. So which means there are multiple types. Let's say the way we read data from table is different from the way we read data from paragraph, and the way we read data from image, or the way we read data from references. Yes or no? That's why multiple types are there. Now those types should be taken care by using what? Pre-built tools. We have got bunch of pre-built tools which are going to help us in order to convert unstructured to structured. But within Informatica Cloud, it itself has got built-in intelligence which is going to facilitate us to convert unstructured to structured. That's it, guys. So these are the multiple uh, categories through which we could able to pull the data by using what? Access layer. I hope it is clear, right? That's it. Now, once you understand what is the next step that we all need to do, once you could able to pull the data, that's a question, right? Yes or no? So that's where we have got a discover layer. So discover layer, we can also call it as what? Analysis layer, or we can also call it as understand, explore, or identifying issues, or profiling. These are all synonyms, guys, so don't get confused. These terms will be used interoperably based on the context. Clear, no? So, but ultimately, this particular discover layer is going to help us in order to identify the issues. And these issues would be expressed based on nulls or based on duplicates or based on the type issues or based on the range issues, based on pattern issues or whatever. Issues could be expressed in many ways. But all of those issues would be identified by using what? Discover layer. Within Informatica Cloud also, one can able to do that by using what? There's a separate service which we call data profiling service. Yeah? So that's it. I'll not get into these details because our focus point in this particular program will be on this particular integration. Yeah. So that's why I'm not trying to touch this much. Yeah. Now let us say we identified these issues. So once we identify issues, right, we need to fix it. Yes or no? So how do you fix it? So that's going to be the question mark. That's where we have got another layer, so which we call cleanse layer. So cleanse layer is going to identify, is going to fix the issues. Yeah, let me give one realistic scenario, guys. Let us take India country, right, where we have got multiple states, like a state 1 and state 2, right, now and state 3. And each state has got their own way of representing the country code. Let's say state 1, they represented it by using IN, and state 2, they represented by using IN dot, state 3, they represented by using IN dot dot. Now, each state has got its own of representation country code. Now, while building a solution, are we going to maintain different types for or different values for each state? Answer is what? No. Then how do you solve this problem? That is where cleanse layer is going to help us. So within this cleanse layer, there is going to be one transformation which we call standardizer transformation, that is going to help us in order to what we call convert n number of representations to single and unique representation. Can you see here? So we are trying to convert n number of representations to unique representation, which we call data standardization. Yeah. So which means we can convert in dot to what? One unique one. Let's say IND. So IND will be used for all the states instead of what we call separate values. So that's it, guys. Like how one can identify issues. Second, how to fix it by using what? Standardizer transformation. Yeah. So likewise, you can think of many examples. Now, can we take care anything and everything by using cleanse layer in order to fix it? Answer is no. For example, let us say there are some duplicate records. Yeah. So now we need to create a good data out of a number of duplicate records. To some extent, we can do it, but by using MDM, we can go with what? Exhaustive way of what you call one, to identify duplicates, second, to fix the duplicates, which can't be done by using what? Cleanse layer. Yeah. Sorry. So now let us say one realistic business case. Let's say there is a merger happened between two banks where you are holding an account. Let's say you have an account in bank 1 and you also have an account in bank 2. Yeah? So, but there is a merger happened between these two banks where you are holding an account. Let's say in bank 1, B1, where you supplied the name and also address, right? So name, let us say ABC, address, let's say street number, street name, and other miscellaneous address attributes. And if we take a bank 2, where we got ABCD, null or partial address. Yes or no? Now the question, after merger, what happens? Because these two records are associated to the same customer. So in first bank, the customer has supplied a short name and full address. In second bank, customer has supplied full name with a no or partial address. Now the question, sorry, after the merger, right, we need to create a single copy for every customer. Yes or no? So we should not maintain multiple copies for each customer. So how do we take care of it? That's a question, right? That's where MDM is going to resolve this particular problem. Where, let us say, we are going to go with what? Longest option. Longest means what? Whichever record has got more number of characters, we need to make that particular record to be survived. For example, if you take this longest for name column, then what happens? Data from bank 2 is going to get survived. Same thing, if you try to apply it for address, longest, right? Bank 1 data will be survived, which means this is going to be the good record based on these two banks. Remember, guys. So likewise, we can think of many examples where MDM is going to solve this kind of problems. Yeah. So that's it. As a result of this particular MDM, we are going to get to see what master data, or we can solve that. We can also say that trustworthiness data, or best version of truth data, or in simple terms, we can say that good data. That's it. That is over. Now once we are done with that, next step is what? We need to start applying integration activities. In the sense, we need to collect the data from n number of source systems and start applying ETL, or integration operations, which means how to collect the data from multiple source systems and start applying the business logic. So that part we take care of it by using what? Integration. Yeah. Anyway, we are going to spend more time on this particular layer to understand what all integration activities that one can carry out within Informatica Cloud. Any questions, guys, from anybody?
No.
Yeah. Any questions from anybody, guys? No questions, huh? Okay, fine. Once you collect, right, then we can deliver this data to a final target, which we call enterprise data warehouse, or we can say data warehouse, which can be used for dealing with any enterprise applications. Yeah? That's it, guys. So just to summarize, right, we read the data, identify issues, fix the data by using these two layers, and then apply integration, and result of integration will be sent to a final target, which we call data warehouse. That's it. That's a summary of what we discussed in this particular life cycle. Now tell me, where does this particular integration comes in? Does this integration comes before access, after access, before discover, after discover, before cleanse, after cleanse, before MDM, after MDM, or before deliver, after deliver, or before warehouse, after warehouse? These are all questions. These are all what you call options. So which one do you opt for? Answer is what? So we should always think using this particular integration after MDM layer only. Remember, guys, yes or no? Yeah, because we should take good data as an input and start applying integration rules. Instead, if we directly apply integration rules, then there is no way of producing the good data which can be taken as a base to take any business decisions. Remember, guys? Yeah? So that's it.
Nasima, you are in mute if you are speaking something.
Yeah, so I think with this we understood where does this integration comes in, right? Yes or no? Now
Yeah,
we need to understand the architecture of this particular Informatica cloud. So I hope you all could able to see this diagram, right? Architecture diagram. Yes or no?
yeah, we can see.
Yes, we can see.
Can you can you zoom some more?
Okay, okay. Is it fine? It's better, right?
Yeah.
You can also zoom from your side also. Huh? So, or make it full screen from your side also. You can see complete picture. Yeah? Fine. So let us talk about it. In this particular diagram, we could able to see two layers. Bottom one, top one. Bottom contains on-prem layer. Can you see on-premise? Means local. Yeah. And second layer is what? Top layer, which is cloud layer. So on-prem layer, cloud layer. I hope it is clear, right? First part. Yeah. Next. So how do you make these two layers, which is on-prem layer, cloud layer, to interact or to talk to each other? So that's going to be the question mark. Yes or no? For that, we have to have another service or an agent or an application. So that we call agent. Agent is going to be the long running process which will be started when the system is bootstrapped and it will go down when the system goes down. Yeah. Now, for this, we need to install this agent in our local system. Yeah. Now, once you install, right, now we need to talk about protection. How do you protect this particular agent from outsiders? That's where secure. So we need to secure this particular agent. One, by using a firewall. Second, by using a proxy. Third, by using third-party authentication and authorization tools. So we can use any secure mechanism, but we need to protect this agent. That is going to be the ultimate goal over here. Clear, right? Now we understood three things: on-prem layer, cloud layer, and also agent. Clear, right, guys, so far? Yes or no? Now, there are two more terms: metadata and data. So what is a metadata, guys? Can someone define? So what is a metadata?
Group of data.
So data about data. Yes or no? So data about data, or data over data, or simply it is a structure, or it is a descriptor. So it's a descriptor, or we can also say that's a definition. So there are synonyms, guys. For example, we talked about one sample data, right? C1, C2, C3, 1, comma 2, comma 3, 4, comma 5, comma 6. In this case, what is the metadata? Sorry. So we
C1,
talked about
C2,
the
C3.
definition.
C1, C1,
Sorry?
C1, C2, C3.
Yeah. C1 with a type integer, C2 with a type integer, C3 with a type integer. Yeah. Which means we have to have column name, column type. Then we have other properties also, like a scale, then precision, then we have precision, then we have a null or not null. Yeah. So then we have short description, then we can have long description, then we can have extended meta attributes. So which means all these properties are part of metadata, but out of them mandatory properties are what? Column name and column type. Yeah. And we can also have a length also if you want. Yeah. That is by default you will have default length, but depending upon number of digits that you want to read, appropriate length can be specified over here. That's it. So this is how we can define the metadata. And what is the data? This is going to be the data. And from where you pull we get the data from source systems. What is the source, guys? What is the source? Huh? It is the data from where data gets originated. Example, we talked about SAP. This is going to be the SAP source data. Yes or no? Yeah. State 1, state 2 we discussed, right? That's also source. State 1 source, state 2 source. So from where the data gets originated, that's where we use a term source. Yeah? And target is what? What is the target, guys? It is the data where we dump. Yeah. So this is going to be the receiving end, which is what? This is the receiving end actually. This is where we send it to the target systems or consumer systems where they consume the data that was processed by Informatica Cloud. That's it. Yeah. So now, so we talked about metadata. We also talked about data. Now there's a cloud. Yes or no? So what is a cloud, guys? What is a cloud? Simple. Cloud is just a remote, which means we can perform operations remote without having any resources within our local system. Yeah. So for example, let's say we need 10 physical boxes or 10 systems. From where you'll get it from the cloud, because some third-party provider or cloud provider we call like Amazon, Google, Salesforce, or any other cloud provider, right? Where pay per use, in the sense if you pay for 10 systems, right, you'll get access to those 10 systems. So that's where this particular cloud example would come in. Yeah? And this cloud could be used for two cases. One, one for what? Processing. Second for what? Storage. So processing means that's where Informatica Cloud comes in. So which means Informatica Cloud, it has been designed in order to take care of processing activities. But the result of that processing can be stored within what? Any storage media. The storage could be what? A cloud storage. Which means we read the data from a file and store it onto what? Amazon Cloud. Yes or no? That's a simple example to understand like how this particular cloud term will be used for. Clear, no? So in this example, we could able to see what we call Informatica Cloud, and also what we can see cloud data, which means like Amazon, Google, Salesforce, NetSuite, whatever, right? So that's it. Now I think we talked about all the terms that we have within this diagram. Now let us try to make them to talk to each other. That is going to be the next question. So let us say, so we need to read the data from on-prem and send it to what? A cloud. So how? By using what? Agent. So guys, you all could able to hear me, right? Krishna?
Just now we lost you.
Now we are able. Yeah, only
For
a
1 minute or 2 minutes?
Yeah,
I think
just
for
30
1 minute.
seconds or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or some seconds. Huh? So I was trying to talk about how to make these two layers to talk to each other. So how to get the data from on-prem layer and get it transferred to the cloud. How do you do that? By using agent. We know that. Now, to do that, we need to build a logic, right? Yes or no? Where do you do it? In on-prem only. Once you build a logic, we need to save it. Yes or no? So where do you save it? Informatica Cloud Repository. Now one more term here. What is a repository, guys? What is meant by repository? So repository is a place where we can store what?
Metadata.
Metadata. Exactly. So in Informatica Cloud context, right? You know, Informatica Cloud context, we use a term ICR, meaning Informatica Cloud Repository. You know, Informatica Cloud Repository. You know. So Informatica Cloud Repository is a place where we store what? Metadata. You know. So that's what we do as part of this Informatica Cloud Repository. Clear, guys? So that's it. Yeah. So this way we can store metadata. That's why you can see dotted line with arrow, right? From bottom to top, this arrow, right? If it says save it in from on-prem, it will be saved in what? Informatica Cloud repository. Yes or no? Similarly, if you want to read data from, let's say, Informatica Cloud repository, see line pointing to bottom, right? Dotted line. That's where we can see reading metadata from Informatica Cloud repository. Remember, guys, that's it. Yeah. So that's what we have, this dotted line with arrow. So let us say now we build some logic and we need to execute that logic. To do that, prerequisite is what? Metadata should be ready. So we read metadata, then transfer data from on-prem to cloud based on metadata, guys. Which means in order to process data, we have to have metadata. That is why both are required, guys. So meta is first, then data comes later. That's it. Yeah. So these activities we do it by using what? Informatica Cloud, and vice versa. We can also read data from cloud, get it transferred to on-prem also. That's why we can see solid line with arrow pointing to the bottom, right? Which indicates what? Reading the data from the cloud and get it transferred to the local environment, which we call on-prem environment. That's it. Clear, guys, to everyone? So that's it about Informatica Cloud architecture. Now, if anybody has got any questions, please try to ask those questions, guys. So once you understand this, I'll extend this architecture because we just started with a very simple example in architecture. Now next level we'll get in. Yeah. So next level is going to be this, where we can understand like how the flow of operations that would take place over here. Yeah. So on the right side, the cloud layer. On the left side is what? On-prem layer. Yes or no? Yeah. So on-prem layer, we can have databases or applications or whatever. These are what? Sources where we can read the data. I think we talked about structured data, unstructured data, all that, right? They're all over here, right? So now see the flow. On the right side, you can see Informatica Cloud, right? See, from Informatica Cloud, we create some logic and save. See, one is here. Then if we save it, it will be saved in what? Informatica Cloud. That's what we do. And then if you want to process that, whatever we do, right? By using secure agent, we can process. It takes metadata from Informatica Cloud first, and then process it by using agent and get it transferred to what? Cloud, which is a third step. Read, apply, and transfer. That's all we follow as part of this particular Informatica Cloud. I repeat, read, apply, and transfer, which means we read metadata based on the data, then apply the logic within by using secure agent. It is going to process it, and process data will be transferred to what? appropriate target, like a Salesforce, Amazon, whatever, right? So that's it, guys. Like how one can start making use of this Informatica Cloud as an integration service. Integration means what? Collection. You know? So which means as a service means what? Service is going to be the long running process which can be used whenever you want it. For what? To perform integration or data integration operations. That's all, guys. So this is what we do when it comes to what we call Informatica Cloud as a service. Clear, guys, to everyone? Yes or no?
Yeah, clear.
Fine. So now let us extend to next level. Like what kind of protocols that will be used by Informatica Cloud, which we have not discussed, right? So in this case, on the right side, on-prem layer, left side, cloud layer. Yes or no? So on-prem layer we can see like files, databases, whatever, and the protocols. Can you see here? First, let us talk about metadata. So now, when you try to perform some logic, right? If you want to save it, how it will be saved? By using what? HTTPS protocol. Using HTTPS, we can talk to Informatica Cloud where we are going to save the metadata. Remember, guys, so which means Informatica Cloud works based on what? HTTPS protocol. We log in by using HTTPS. We metadata also we store it by using what? HTTPS protocol. Not only metadata means any kind of meta operation like configuration of metadata, modification of metadata, consume metadata, create metadata, delete metadata. They're all the operations that we perform against with what? Metadata. And result of that will be stored in what? Informatica Cloud repository, right? Similarly, when it comes to data processing, bottom is metadata, right? Top portion is data processing. So in order to process data, we can use either HTTPS protocol or SOAP protocol. HTTPS means hypertext transfer protocol. S means secure, in a secure mode, right? Then we have SOAP protocol. So which indicates what? Standard object access protocol. Now repeat, SOAP means standard object access protocol. So we can use one of these protocols in order to transfer data from local to cloud or cloud to local. So that's what we do by using what? This particular data portion here, right? This firewall in between we have, right? That is any protection for what? Agent. Yeah, that's it. So here we understood the protocols part. That's it. Yeah? Now let us talk about the complex one. Complex in the sense, in this particular diagram, you all could able to see all the components that one can think within this Informatica Cloud. I hope all of you could able to see the complete diagram, right? Yes or no?
Yes, we
Guys,
can see.
Yes,
is
we
it
can see.
visible, right? Yeah. Yeah. So now, so here also you can see uh, there is a what bar in between, right? This is a black bar, right? So below indicates on-prem layer and above indicates what? Cloud layer, right? So on-prem what we have, there are some extra things here, guys. Please remember. First thing, authentication part. Yeah, see, in order to perform any data integration operations, right? First, we need to log in. So to log in, user has to log in onto this Informatica Cloud, right? To do that, one, we can use internal Informatica Cloud authentication. Second, identity, which means we can also use third-party authentication mechanism. Like we got LDAP, we got SAML, we got single sign-on, whatever. By using third-party authentication provider, one can start logging on to what you call Informatica Cloud, right? So that's it. Yeah. So once you log in, right? Next step, on-prem we got SQL Server, cyle, whatever. We all know that, and they use what HTTPS protocol. Now to talk to these guys. Now in between, if you want to transfer data or meta, right? We need to use what agent. This part also we know. There's one more here, SAML, Security Assertion Markup Language 2.0, which is a version. So this is just like a proxy or authentication that will be used for external cloud applications. Yeah, or we can also say that this works like what single sign-on. Yeah, to protect cloud-based applications. Yeah, so that's it. That they're all about, these are optional anyway. So these are our bottom portions, guys. Now let us get into top portion, like what it contains and what do they do. These are the two things, right? Yes or no? So now can you see here intelligent cloud services? So whatever services that we can see here, they're all what microservices offered by Informatica Cloud. Remember, guys. So this portion is completely belonging to what Informatica Cloud. On the right side, right top, belonging to what storage cloud. Yeah. So this is a processing cloud. Who does processing? Informatica. This is storage cloud. Who takes care of it? Third party, like a Salesforce, Amazon, whoever it is. That's it. So there are two parts within the cloud itself. One for storage, other for processing. Another question. As part of processing, what all we have it? One, what you call repository. Can you see metadata here? So we can have n number of repositories, multi-tenant repositories, and we can also have data also. And who is going to take care of storing metadata, data? Some services should be there, right? What are those services? Microservices. That's it. We got n number of services like for metadata, ICR, which is Informatica Cloud Repository Services. For data, we use what? Data integration server, or we can say simply data integration services. Fine, right? So that's it. These are part of Informatica Cloud. Now the next question on the right side, storage, right? Now can you see there is one more agent here? What is that agent? Informatica Cloud Hosted Agent, or in simple, we can also call it as Informatica Secure Agent. Why do we need that? In order to transfer data from one cloud environment to other cloud environment. In the sense, this guy can read the data from Informatica Cloud, get it transferred to Salesforce, or this guy can also read data from Salesforce, get it transferred to Informatica Cloud, or we can also use this agent in order to transfer data from Salesforce to Amazon also. So within Cloud Store also we can have data transfer, which means in simple terms, this Informatica Secure Agent or Cloud Hosted Agent, right? We use it in order to transfer data from one cloud environment to other cloud environment. That's a summary. Clear, guys? That's it. Now, how the interaction would take place between what? On-prem to cloud. Again, by using what? Secure agent. Read the data from SQL Server, get it transferred to Amazon. Or read the data from Amazon, get it transferred to SQL Server. Yes or no? So before that, we need to build a logic, like data integration logic. And when you save it, then it will be saved in what? Repository. And when you want to process it, retrieve the repository or metadata and start reading the data from SQL Server and get it transferred to what? Amazon, and vice versa. In the sense, agent is going to play very key role, guys, Informatica Cloud. Yeah, because any data transfer that is required from cloud to on-prem, on-prem to cloud, cloud to cloud, on-prem to on-prem, right? All these permutations and combinations, one can start thinking of using what? Agent. So agent would take the responsibility of data transfer across n number of clouds and n number of on-prem medias. That's it. That's a summary of what we could see in this particular diagram. I hope I covered all the bullet points or all the what you call terms that we can see as part of this particular diagram. Now it's your turn to ask questions, guys. Yeah.
What is the difference
Yeah.
between on-prem secure agent and cloud secure agent? Because why do we need for on-prem we are using secure agent to protect our data, but cloud it's anyway it's a cloud data only, right? Why we need a secure agent again in the cloud?
Uh-huh. For example, local agent or on-prem agent, we cannot use it to transfer data from one cloud to other cloud directly because by default you will not have access. So that's where Informatica cloud hosted agent will be used between one cloud to other cloud. That's the one thing. And the protection is also required even hosted agent. That is protection is required everywhere. Cloud we can't protect. Like Informatica side they have to protect it. Yes or no? And these guys also protected. There are their own protection mechanism. You know, protection is required everywhere. But main catch here is, can we use on-prem agent to transfer data from one cloud to other cloud? Answer is no. That's a default. So that is why we use cloud agent. So we can also call it as a cloud agent. Yeah, clear, right?
Yeah.
Fine. So that's it, guys, about architecture. So now that we understood about the Informatica cloud architecture. Now the next step, we need to start getting into what I call like how to set up Informatica cloud. Yeah? Let us try doing that. Fine. So first thing, we need to log on to this cloud environment. Yeah? I hope you all have got the link to get into this cloud environment, right? Yes or no? Yeah.
Yeah, we got.
Yeah,
Okay.
Silver,
So
this is
now let us.
Venkat Gopurity. Yeah, so me and Prem, we joined late because we got invitation very late from HR. So we don't have the link. Could you please share with us?
Okay, I'll just put it in the what chat box. You can just use it. Yeah, fine.
Sure. Thank you.
So I just copy it here. You know. So yeah, it is in the chat box and username password. So you'll be knowing it. So okay, username passwords are different for different users, guys. For example, Amruta. So this is username, and we can see email ID and the username password, right? So so now let me try to make use of. First, let us try to log in by using this link, guys. So please apply this link. So you'll get to see username and password. Yeah. Guys,
Yeah, they gave
The
the
Teams
different
app,
usernames. It's not
it's
our
already
email
shared
address.
in.
no, my user is different. You will have your own user. You please use that. Yeah, right. So I'll be using this user because I have this username and password, and you'll have your own username and password. Please apply that. Yeah. So that's the username. Then this is a password. That's it. Yeah. What is this? Oh my. There are special names. Yeah. So once you so once you connect, right? So you could able to see this dashboard, guys. I hope you all could able to see the workspace dashboard once you supply the link and username and password. Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. So make sure that we're all on the same page. Yeah. Fatima, Venkateshwar, Reddy, Pawan, Kumar, all. Gopi, Shruti, Priyanka. I think you all could able to get in, right? Yes or no?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, fantastic. Connect and start and connect again. Yeah. So now we are going to get into what? Remote systems to perform Informatica cloud operations. Yeah. It's taking a long time. Guys, could able to connect remote system?
Yeah, I am able to connect.
Oh, good. So how about others, guys? So mine is taking time. Amrita is done. Mine is taking time.
Refresh the page once.
Sorry,
Refresh the page.
refresh, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Hmm. Okay. Need to connect. Yes. Fine. So we could able to get in here. Yeah, good. So now make it full screen, guys. Click on full screen so that we'll be in a cloud environment. Yes or no? So that's it. Yeah. The first thing, in order to perform any Informatica cloud operations, right? So please open the Google Chrome. In the status bar, you can see Google Chrome shortcut, right? So please click on that and expand this. Here you can type in what? Informatica cloud application integration. Application integration free trial. Yeah. So please supply this, guys, all. Fine. So please apply Informatica Cloud Application Integration free trial. All of you guys. Done all? So because we need to subscribe in order to make use of data integration service that we discussed in architecture, right? So click on first one. So can you see, guys, you need to fill these details. So please fill all the details. First name, last name, work mail, put here your Gmail ID, guys. So don't put your office ID, put your Gmail ID. Yeah. Then country code, all that. And here, please select Asia Pacific. Yeah. Then I have read and agreed to the subscription agreement. So before that, you need to fill in all the details. Please fill that, guys, all of you. Yeah. I hope you're all doing right. I have already done it. That's why I'm not giving the input. Yeah. Like let's say test user. Okay. Job title. Let's say software. Then work mail. Yes, I'll just put some name here. Yeah. Let's say I'm putting my Gmail ID. Yeah. So then we can use what role. Yeah. So any role here. Yeah. Let's say architect, or you can put software engineer, or anything, education, whatever. And phone number, you can supply your phone number. This is any number you can give. Yeah. So I've just given my number. Organization, let's say self. So I work for myself. Then supply the country, which is, let's say, India. Okay. So then state, let us say whatever state, then just specify AP. Then city, some city name and postal code, whatever. So this way we can fill what, all the details. Yeah. Then so start detail, it will be enabled. Click on that. Yeah. So I hope all of you could able to supply the inputs, right? Yes or no? Yeah. Guys, you're all doing right.
Yes, yes, Narasimha.
Yeah. So once you are done with that, you'll get a mail. So please open the mailbox. You will see the button for activation, right? Click on that verify mail button. So it will be verified. That's it. That's what we need to do. Hmm. Like for example, in my case, I'll try to what do you call login. I've just given earlier I given some other mail ID. So gmail.com. So once you click on start free trial, right, you'll get a mail. Yeah. So that's it. But anyway, this I've already done it, so I don't need to do it. So you just can do it. Click on what verify. So once verify, right, we need to get to the next step. So yeah, you'll get a link also to log in. Yeah. like Informatica. I can just put here Informatica cloud link also. Here also you'll get it. Cloud link, like a DMI from API. You'll have it. Yeah, you can also see this on your mail also. Yeah. This, yeah. Yes, here you can see. That's a Docker. Fine, whatever. Yeah, can you see here? So this is going to be the link, yeah, to login. So just copy this link. And you can just type in like whatever I'm putting here. Yeah. So here region, right? So we need to supply AP region. Yeah. So that's it. Press enter. Yeah. So this is going to be the link to get into this Informatica cloud. So your case, once you verify, right, you'll be logged in automatically. It will not ask for login page because I have registered earlier, right? So that's why it's asking for username and password. Now let me try to supply the inputs. The username and password. So that's it. Yeah, can you see guys? Once you supply, right? So we could able to see all the services offered by Informatica Cloud. I hope all of you could able to see these services. Yes or no, guys? Yeah.
Not yet. I'm yet to register
Oh,
due to this
oh,
VM things.
what is that?
Having some this VM issue. I'm not like able to
Can
like
you please
get
share
it.
your desktop?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
same
Or you can just
same.
share
I'm
your
also
desktop.
facing the issue, always.
Try to share your desktop. Let us see the problem. Yeah.
Let me know if you want to see my screen.
Yeah. Once it comes, yes, I can see it. Oh,
We have shared the lab shared basis. Kindly use the labs
Yes, yes. Yeah,
simultaneously. Yeah.
yeah. Venkat is not using it. I checked with him. I pinged him. He is not using it. Still, I'm getting this error.
Yeah, mass mutual user ID 20. Anyone using? Please confirm me in the
I-
chat. Yeah, you only using the Kumar.
As of now, yeah, I'm only using because I checked with I pinged Venkat with the other person, right? So he's not using actually. So
No,
still,
if
I'm getting
someone
this.
using it will disconnect it.
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
Refresh
can you
the
like
Okay.
page
try to log
itself
out and log in?
from on the top. Refresh there.
Hmm.
While I'm giving the details, mine is showing like it is shut down and again getting error.
Guys, only one
Yeah,
person should
before
write.
logging into the VM, kindly refresh the page and clear the cookies and caches. Then try to incognito mode only.
I'm in incognito mode only.
Yeah, if you are connect any VPN or mobile hotspot, kindly log out and try to.
No, 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 no. There is no mobile hotspot, nothing. Let me try here.
Try it again. I think someone is using your user.
No, no, he confirmed me that he is not using actually. That's why I'm saying. अरे भाई
Yeah. Do one thing, guys. Let's take a break for 10-15 minutes. Yeah. During that time, right, you guys can register. Yeah. Whoever has not done, right? Yes. Now looks like it's working. So whoever has not done registration, right, please do that. And after that, log on to the mailbox and click on verify. Fine. Then we'll continue from there. Is that okay to all, guys? Yeah. We'll meet around
Okay.
4:12, 4:15. Yeah. Okay.
Malaysia, you're available?
Yes, I am there. Yeah.
I'll
Kunal.
share my screen.
Yeah, you can share. Yeah.
Just a moment. You're able to see my screen, right?
Yes, yes, I'm getting. Yeah.
It is coming again. It is going while I'm trying to register.
If someone using, then only it will getting disconnected. They will.
But you said right, I'm the only single user for this.
Someone, the third party using, I think maybe. Yeah, now you're getting right.
Um, Let me fill it out, and I'll let you know again. Hmm.
Your personal link.
guys, anyone remember which region we need to select?
Yeah, Malesh, are you there? Malesh, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, you can hear you.
Yeah, it's clear, right?
Yeah, your voice is audible, but you're little low, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, if you are using headphones, your voice is correct. But you not using headphones and all, voice is no
No
too low,
headphone.
sir. Yeah.
No headphones on it was not good. That's why I've just taken out. I'm
Mhm.
using laptop mic only directly. So, but you can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you, but too low. Yes, Prem.
But low.
Yeah, Prem Kumar. Am I right?
Yeah, we can hear him.
So you can hear
Yeah.
me, right, Ranjan?
Yeah, little low, but yeah, it's manageable, I
It's
can say.
okay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Narasimha, just one question. So, which data center we need to select?
Yeah.
Oh, Asia Pacific. Yeah. So fine then. I think let's continue, guys. Yeah. Yes. So let me share my desktop. I think now, I hope all of you could have been registered, right? Yeah. So you can also try after 6 p.m. also. Yeah. So I'll just talk about some instructions. So you'll have more than 10-15 hours, right? Before we start next session. Yeah. Fine. So I hope all of you have registered. So I'll just share my desktop. Yeah. So now let me get into the lab. Yeah. So that's it. So once you register, so you'll get a mail from admin user ID from Informatica Cloud. Just open that mail. You'll have verify now button. Click on that. So you'll get to see these services. Yeah, that's it. Now, after that, what we need to do? So we need to select administrator service. Why? Because I think we talked about it as part of what architecture, right? We need agent. So, so we need to install that agent. To do that, we need to get into in administrator service. Within that, there will be a download link. Let us see that. Yeah, so now let us click on runtime environments. Anyway, it's recording, guys. So after 6 p.m., you can play the recording to perform these actions. So click on runtime environment. So in my system, so against this user, right? Like whatever we logged in. So with this user, I've already what we call install one agent. But this agent is installed in some other system, not in this system. So we need to have agent in the local system. For that, what we need to do, can you see in the right top, all right, download secure agent. Guys, you all could able to see this button, right, in the right top. Yes or no? Click on download secure agent. Yeah, all. I'll just wait for a while. Yeah, this agent can be installed either in Windows 64-bit or Linux 64-bit. And while installation, we need to supply this what token. So click on that copy button here, and then we need to open one of the note. Can just open the notepad and paste it there. Yeah. Fine. So because we'll be using this later on, which is as part of installation. So please put it in the notepad, all guys. Yeah, so now click on download. That's it. Yeah. So let it get downloaded. Yeah, so we can go to downloads location. It is still downloading, right? This size is 143 MB, right? So yeah, so once it download, right, next step is what we need to install. Remember, guys. So after that, so you have three layers that we discussed architecture, right? They'll be ready. In the sense, on-premise we are in local anyway. Agent we are making it ready. Cloud we can use either Salesforce or some other Amazon whatever, or we can also transfer data from on-prem to on-prem also, right? Like so from same system to same system, but some other media like file to database, database to file, database to database, file to file, whatever, right? So these combinations we can try it out as part of data integration service. without any issues. Yeah. So once you could able to transfer data from source to a target, then we can start applying different kinds of data integration operations. We can also call it as what? Transformations like aggregator, sorter, normalizer, expression, then we have a lookup, join, then web services, then we have plans, we have got SQL, stored position, whatever. So we got multiple transformations that we are going to perform by using what? Data integration service. Yeah. So that's what we are going to do. But prerequisite to perform those operations is what? So we need to have this agent which is ready to use. Yeah. Now the agent got downloaded. Almost it's over. Yes, it is completed, right? Now let's go to download, right? Yes or no? Guys, is
Yes,
it
download.
downloaded? Okay, it's going on and it's done.
It's done for me.
Fine.
Uh,
So now click on that. Yeah.
hey, I just connected back. Actually, I lost network. So after logging into Informatica platform, first we have to download the agent for the runtime environment, or do we have any additional steps before this?
No, nothing. We need to get into administrator service. Click on
Okay.
runtime environments. You can see, right?
Right,
Then
right. Okay.
on the right top, you can see download secure agent. Please click on that. Yeah.
Okay.
So after that, it will be installed. So installation location is this one. Under downloads, you can see agent 64. It's something.
So
Yeah.
this we have to do it in the VDI or in the local
Yes.
machine?
Not
In the
local,
VDI.
VDI only.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, that's a good question, guys. Everything we need to do within virtual machine only. Local, nothing should be done. I don't think you'll have access anyway. We should not do it anyway. Fine. So we got this VDI because of that only. So we can perform everything within the cloud only. Yeah. So click on it, guys. Yeah. So I'll just wait for some more seconds because maybe others might be downloading it, right?
Hi,
Yeah.
Nashima.
Yes, please.
Sorry, I joined a little late. Uh, I after opening administrator services, where should I like? Can you
Click on
guide me to
runtime
like
environment.
runtime environment?
Yes, you are right. Yeah.
Okay, there we should download secure agent, right?
Exactly. You are right. Right top you can see. Click on that one. Yeah. Yeah, I think I hope all done, right? So now just have to go to downloads location and click on that agent.exe, right? So after that, it will open this page or a window. Now we just have to follow what are default locations, guys. So we don't need to change any location. Let us stick to the default location, which is program files Informatica Cloud Secure Agent. So click on next. So click on install. That's it. Yeah, rest it will take care. Like installing Java, corresponding Tomcat, then followed by all the components that are required to perform agent activities. Yeah. Yeah. Can you see here? So it lasts for username and token. So now let me supply username rislglobaltraining4 at gmail.com. Then token we copied in the notepad, right? Yeah, just copy this. Yeah, and paste it in. Yes, paste it here. Yeah, and click on register. Yeah. So which means
Uh,
username is you would have supplied your email ID, right, as part of registration that we need to give. Token is which we already copied in the what
After downloading, also we pull this information, this token.
yes, that is the see, can you see generate install token? You can click
Yeah.
on that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think we're all on the same page, right? Yes or no, guys?
For me, it's just downloading. Um,
Yeah, fine. So anyway, you can also perform after 6 p.m. also, right? So yeah,
okay.
because you have recording, right? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
fine. So let it get what you call bring up all the services. Yeah, fine. So meantime, I'll cover some theoretical parts. Yeah? So let me get into this local system. Yeah. Okay. So now that we know architecture we discussed, terms also we discussed, some terms, not all. And we've also talked about life cycle also we discussed. And then we installed agent also after logging in, yes or no. Then, so then next step, we are going to perform ETL activities. Yeah. So how do you do ETL activities? By using data integration service. Yeah. So we have seen that, right? So we need to get in there. The first example that we are going to perform is what? Instead of ETL, we'll perform E and L. Why? Because we'll understand the complete environment where we can pull or we can read the data from any source and get it transferred to any target. So that is where E and L will be used for. E, let us say, read the data from, let's say, flat file, yeah? And second, write data to another flat file, right? So that's it. So which means in order to read data from flat file, right? So I think we talked about access layer, right? It's a structured data. So we need to create a connection for everything, guys. So which means in this case, we need to supply connection type, which is going to be, what? A flat file, fine. And then followed by location, where we got a data, that's a C colon slash source folder, then followed by what I call description, whatever. If you want, you can supply, or else it's optional. Yeah. So that's it. So once you supply, we can just test this connection. So if the test is successful, then our configuration is okay. Just platform connection configuration is fine. That's it. The same thing we need to repeat for even for what? Target also, which means we need to create a connection based on a flat file connection type. Specify the location. In here the location will be, instead of source, we can create what? A target. That's it. So this way we can create what you call target connection. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Like how one can start taking care of creation of connections for both source and target. Yeah. So once we are done with that, next step, what we need to do within ETL, we can perform integration operations, right? Let us say we are going to go with what? Pass through, what you call mapping. Mapping is a term that we use in order to transfer the data from source to a target in this case. Yeah. So which means we can perform ETL activities, guys. So we need to select what you call mapping and start building a mapping, guys. That's what we can do over here, right? Yes or no? So that's it. Yeah. So which means E and connect this to L. That's it. Which means source, which is going to be a file, and target, which is going to be again a file. Yeah. So that's what we do. So once we are done with that, we can save this particular mapping. What is the result of saving, guys? Where does it get stored, guys? In
Cloud
Repository.
Informatica.
repository.
Exactly, fantastic. Yeah. Informatica cloud repository. That's it, guys. Now mapping is done. After that, we can run the mapping. So once you run the mapping, data from source, that should get transferred to a target. I'll talk about some more options once you get into practical part of it. So that's it, guys. So once you could able to transfer data from source to target, which means our environment is ready to use. That's what it means. Yeah, fine. So now let us try to perform. See whether this agent is up or not. Yes, now it is ready, right? Yes or no? It is up and running. Now let us get into it. Yeah. So now if we try to refresh this, let me just refresh. Now there will be two agents, right? And two should be up and running. Let's wait for a while. Yeah. Can you see here? These are the this is the second agent. You can just click on that. Not all services are ready. Let us see that. But what we need is data integration server. Yeah. So data integration server still it is starting up. Yeah. So we have to wait. Yeah. Or else we can just what you call stop other services. For example, common integration components. It is not required for us. Yeah. So we can stop it. So whatever is not required, we can stop. Yeah, because we can save time, right? Yeah. And then process server is also not required. We can just select process server and stop it. Yeah. So what we need is data integration server. It's still coming up anyway. And even OA data collector also, it is not required for us. So we can just select it and click on stop. Yeah. That's it. So we are focusing on the one which is required for us. That's it. Yeah. So others we are not worried about it. Yeah. So now if we refreshed it, it's still coming up. That's okay. So meantime, I'll talk about some theory. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Like how one can source it. Clear, no? So that's it. Yeah. Now, once you are done with that, then we'll go with what? Performing ETL operations, where you'll have reading part and transfer part, a transform, then loading part. Example. So read the data from a file. Yeah. Then apply, let us say, sorter, or let us say filter transformation. So filter transformation will be used in order to limit the number of rows. Yeah. A result of filter will be transferred to a target, and target is again going to be a file. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Like how one can start what you call building ETL flow from file to a file with filter. Yeah. So filter, it has been designed to limit number of rows by building a simple condition or complex condition. Complex means, let us say simple condition. We have got we need to get the data from supplier. Yeah. So let us say type of what do you call vendor example. So vendor, if it is equal to IBM, then transfer this data to what you call IBM target, right? So then if the vendor is equal to, let's say Microsoft, then we'll transfer data to MS target. The vendor is, let's say, HP, then we'll transfer data to what? HP target. That's it. So which means these kind of filters can be built over here, but for every condition we have to have separate filter transformation, guys. In this case, we need to build three separate filter conditions, and for every filter condition you will have corresponding target. Now can you see, guys, our data integration server is up and running. We can start performing data integration operations. Now let us get into that data integration service. So click on this down arrow button here and click on data integration server or service. Now can you see guys, there are two runtime environments which are up and running. One is in the local, other is in what? Some other systems. Yeah. So likewise we can install n number of what agents. Yeah. Remember that. Yeah. So next step. So you can click on projects. See, we already have some projects which are created. Yeah. So we can also create. So you will not have any project, guys. So you can just create our own project. So click on new project and project name. Let us say. So we can just put dev underscore must mention whatever, right? Yeah. So supply what? Dev underscore mm. Yeah? So this is going to be, let us say, dev project. Yeah. Yeah, done guys. Now say okay. Yeah, save it. Yeah, we need to make it full screen. Yeah, now we can save it. So that's the first thing we need to do. Now click on this dev underscore within that we can create a new folder. Yeah? So we can create, let's say, extract folder underscore so we can put extract underscore folder to maintain sources and targets plus all assets. Fine. And save it. So description is optional. If you want, we can create, we can supply, or else it's optional. Yeah? So that's going to be the next step, guys. Done all? Yeah. I hope you all have done it, right? Yes or no? Tej,
Yeah.
yes. Now let us go to File Explorer or Windows Explorer, where we can go to D drive. Within that, right click and create new folder, where we use this folder in order to take care of source. You can put source folder. Yeah. And within, double click on source. Within that, let us try to create sample file. Yeah. So I'm going to show everything from the scratch so that all of you could able to understand without any gaps. Fine. Now let us try to select new and folder. Oh, folder is done, right? So now we need to create a file, new and text document. Can you see here? Text document. Please select that and supply seq underscore 1. Why we are giving this sequential file? First one. So likewise, you can create n number of sequential files, seq1, seq2, seq3, and so on. Yeah. So we'll start with how to read data from a single file. After that, we will see how to read the data from multiple files. Yeah. So now open this file. So now we talked about as part of access, right? Sample data, right? Let us try to give the same sample data as part of notepad with this and 1 comma 2 comma 3 4 comma 5 comma 6 7 comma 8 comma 9. That's it. So whatever theory that we discussed, right? So we are trying to do it practically. Yeah. Yeah. So now data is ready. I'll just close this. Yeah. Now the next step, we can also create one more folder where we are going to dump the result of mapping. Yeah. So that's going to be what target folder, right? That's it. Yeah. Empty target folder. Yeah. So please create this. Yeah. So now let us try getting into what next step, which is get into this Informatica cloud, especially data integration. Yeah. Click on new. Can you see, guys, on the left top there's a new button, right? Click on it. Here we can see multiple assets. Can you see, guys? We call all of five things as what assets. Like we have tasks, mappings, maplets, task flows, and components. Anyway, we are going to talk all of them with practical examples. So we call them as what assets. Now select one of the asset, which is what mappings. I think we talked about what is a mapping, right? Now select this and click on create. Yeah. So here, so can you see, guys, in this particular window we can see palette. We can say it's a tools palette or transformations palette, where we can see what source transformation, target transformation, aggregator transformation, plunge transformation, filter, router, all the transformations can be seen as part of tools palette, or we can also call it as transformations palette, right? So by default, you will have source and target. You know, we call even these things also transformation, guys, though they are sources and targets. Yeah, that's the first thing. And middle portion is what I call a mapping workspace, where we can use this mapping workspace in order to configure ETL operations. Fine. Now, in the top, in the right top, you can see right toolbar, where we can save the mapping, run the mapping, undo, redo, and then expression plus validation. All such things would be done by using what? This toolbar activities. And bottom sub toolbar contains this operational insight. We can just on or off. Off means it will be taken out from here. On means it will be on here. We can see here. Yeah. So which means just like the operational insights. Yeah. So now this is just like a view. Arrange all or or we can also have our own way. This is just like organizing the transformations within the mapping. Yeah. Then delete if you don't want some things. This is a cut if you don't want, if you want to perform cut and paste. This is a copy, and then we can also say what is called paste, copy, paste. Then zoom in and zoom out. These are sub tool operations, right? So now we talked about tools palette, mapping workspace, and toolbar. Next thing in the bottom, we can see properties window. Can you see here? First thing is a mapping properties. Let us say we supply mapping source and target mm, right? And see, location default is what? Dev mm. But if you want to change it to some other location, click on this and specify the folder level. Which means within this folder, we are going to save this particular mapping. Yeah? That's what it means. So please select a folder name, guys. Yeah, and then select it. So can you see here? It is reflected here. So description. So this is just a what pass through mapping, which means whatever comes in, same thing will be sent to a target. Yeah, that's about mapping properties. Now we can also have source properties. Can you see here? Select a source. Now we can see here in the bottom right panel, right? There are three what I call buttons here. One, to minimize, second to restore, third to maximize. Click on maximize. See, the properties can be seen in a complete window. So let us say source. We can specify, let's say file, source underscore file. So read the data from a sample file. Fine. Clear, guys? Now go to source. Here we need to configure the connection. Yeah. So click on new connection. So let us say we have a source file underscore connection, right? And description, we can have same thing, or If you want to have some other description, we can also have it. Yeah. Yeah. Done, guys. All. Krishna, Teja, all. Guys,
What
can
will
you
be the
hear me?
type? Yeah,
Type,
yeah,
yeah,
we
please.
can.
Yeah, type
Uh,
is flat file.
Flat file.
Yes. Yeah. So next, once we are done with that, can you see runtime properties here or flat file connection properties where we need to supply agent. Which agent? This one. See this agent name by default, right? Host name. So we can just go to command line. It's a console, right? And supply the host name. Can you see here? 666 followed by whatever. That's going to be the host name. Same thing we can see here, right? Because under this host, we have installed an agent. That's what it means, right? So d colon slash, what is the folder name we gave here? Source folder. Yeah. And date format by default US format mm dd yy hours minutes and seconds. And code page by default it uses Windows Latin, but in case if you deal with any other international characters like Hindi or Telugu or French or German or Italian, then in that case you need to use appropriate code page here. Yeah, clear, guys? And click on test. Yeah, once you click on test, right, can you see in the left top, this test for this connection was successful. Make sure that you get to see this particular successful message. So then only your input properties are properly configured. If not, something would have been wrong.
Yeah, it is successful.
Yeah. And then say okay. That's it. Yeah. Now, can you see here? Source type could be anything. So we can read the data from a single object, which means single file. We can also read data from n number of files. That's where we use what? File list. And we can also read data from a command. Command means we can have a shell script where we can take care of like how to read data. And fourth, we can also parameterize and value to that parameter would be supplied while running this particular mapping. So we can use one of them. We are starting with what? Single object. That's a default anyway. Fine. And now that we need to specify the file. So click on select and supply the input file name, which is what? seq underscore one dot txt. Yeah. And then say okay. Yeah. So once you supply, right, we can make sure that whether you could able to read the data from a specified flat file or not. To confirm that, click on preview data. Yeah, can you see here? Whatever data that we have within this flat file, right? Complete data can be read as part of this particular preview window. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Because if you look at this formatting options, by default we have got a comma because in our source data also we got a comma as a separator between the fields. Yes or no? And then case sensitive this row delimiter by default new line and then text qualifier meaning what? Remember guys, every field value would be enclosed with a double quote. That's a default behavior. In this sample data, double quote is not required because we do not have multiple words per field. For example, if you take a C1, if you have multiple words in it, then we can enclose them within double quotes. Anyway, we don't have it, it is not required. But even if you put also, it's fine. It will not harm anyway, right? And single quote or double quote or no quote you can specify, but this is very much required in case if you have multiple characters or multiple words per column, because if you try to what you could try to make use of, though we have multiple words with a separator, right? Then in case you have some separator within that same column, right, it is going to split into multiple subfields, which will create what the issue with respect to business functionality. That is why usage of test qualifier is going to play very key role. Now the next thing, escape character. If you, in case if you have special characters or character like apostrophe and so on, right? If you want to skip them out while transferring data to a target, then you need to specify that. If you don't have any such characters, you can just leave it as a blank. And import from row, first row is a header, right? From second row onwards is a data. In case, let us say, we have got first 10 lines on 1 to 9, they have been reserved for header, like a description of what this particular file does. In such cases, from 10th line onwards, if it is going to be data line, we can specify 10. Or else, in our sample data, from the second line itself, there is a data, so we can specify 2 over here. Clear guys to everyone? I think I explained each and every option that we have under this particular formatting window. Yes or no?
Yeah.
And then say, yeah. And then say, okay, that's it. And done. So everything is fine because you could able to read the data, right?
It look like the VM disconnected error we got while saving this. I don't
Maybe
know, my
someone would have,
video got.
it is sharing, right? Maybe someone would have tried to connect. See, what you guys can do is during the session, right? One can connect. After the session, other person can use it. So that both of you can share in that way. Yeah. Because looks like you guys are using sharing, right? Yes or no?
But someone has to tell me before using it, right? I'm not sure who is using mass infa 12.
I don't know, but I think this should be answered by this guy is there. Huh? You'll have a list actually who is going to share his system, right? So make sure that this is solved today, guys, after 6 o'clock. So during session, one you can log in and perform practice. Then after the session, right, 6 p.m. to 8 or 9, whatever, right, or 10. So other person can use it so that everyone can perform hands-on in that way. Yeah. So that part I don't know, like who's using your system. Yeah. So you guys need to coordinate with each other. Yeah. Fine.
Yeah.
So for now, you can just read, understand. So after the session, you guys can resolve this problem and then get into hands-on. Fine, right? Okay. So now we've got three columns, right? C1, C2, and C3. Perfect. Now, in case if you want to change any type, like instead of string, integer, because we got integer values, right? For that, go to options. Can you see, guys, on the right side options, right? And select what? Edit metadata. Yeah. So edit metadata. So now can you see? Now it is editable option is enabled. So go to native type and select, let us say, instead of string, we can select what? Integer. That's it. If you want to delete it also, we can do it. Or if you want to change that in a column name or whatever, right? You can also do it. And precision also can be changed. If you want to change it. Type only we change it. Yeah. So now let us restore. Can you see middle button is meant for restore. That's it. Now that we know how to configure source connection and how to supply the input file and how the formatting options would look like, then how one can start modifying metadata properties. So that's it. Once we are done with that, similar steps need to be repeated on the target side as well. Let us try getting it done. So click on target transformation and click on what? Maximize. So now in this also we can specify target is a file, right? And then dump or transfer data to a specified target or specified destination, right? Yeah, done guys all. Now go to incoming fields. Can you see here? Whatever can be seen in the source, all of them can also be seen in the target. How? Because there is a line with arrow. You can see, right? Line with arrow indicates a link or virtual data set, or let us say even buffer. So using that link or pipelining, using this pipelining, the data transfer would take place from source to target. So which means in reality, right, if you think from technical perspective, we have got IPC mechanisms, right? Inter-process communication, and also ITC mechanisms like inter-thread communication, right? Through which we can make data to be flown from one to another. Which means there are two threads here. One is going to be source thread, and second is going to be what? Target thread. So we can transfer data from source thread to the target thread by using what? Inter-thread communication mechanism. So that's where pipelining or pipe comes in. Pipe is a medium through which we can transfer data. So one is the writer end, other is the reader end. We all know that, right? So that's it. Yeah. Now that is why, because of this line, we could able to see all the incoming fields. That's it. Yeah. Now we can specify the target. So before we specify, right, so we can create our own connection from the scratch to deal with what? Target. Click on new connection and specify the target connection. I'll just put here target file connection. Yeah. And description. Okay, here it's the wrong thing. So there are some special characters which are not allowed as part of names, guys. Make sure that they have been taken care. And then type we can specify here again file. So we are trying to transfer data from one flat file to another flat file. Now now we need to select here a secure runtime environment, secure agent, right? So because this is going to be the on-prem agent, yes or no? So we are specifying on-prem location. So you will not have any issue with respect to what data transfer. If you try to specify some location where you don't have access, right, you'll get to see corresponding errors. Remember that. Now let us apply what location, which is target location. And date format and code page is similar to what we have seen in the source connection properties as well, right? So we are not touching them, and click on test. That's it. This way one can able to configure the target connection, right? And then say okay. Perfect. So here also there are two options over here. One target, second with a parameter. Parameter means you can supply an object name or target file name during running this particular mapping. That's it. Yeah. So that's it. Now supply the target file name so that data would be dumped on a specified target. Click on select. Now can you see yet existing? We don't have any existing files, so we have to have a new file that has to be created from scratch. To get that, we need to click on what? Create new at runtime. So please enable this particular radio button and then supply the target file name. So we can specify here target, or we can say SEQ is a file, right? One is the first file, then followed by target to indicate it's a target, then extension .txt, which is a simple text file. Yeah. Remember, guys, for every word there has to be meaning. So make sure that you supply the meaningful words, because at the end of this program, right, we can import all the activities of what we have performed so that you can import that XML whenever you wanted. So whatever the work that you have done, right, you will not be losing that. So that's it. Yeah? So please supply this file name, guys.
I have one question here, Asim. So,
Yes, please.
as my video got disconnected when I was configuring target one, the host name was showing different. So, do I have to also change the same thing in the source now? Because I think the host name on that side was something different. I observed.
How come? Can you please share it? That should not happen.
Okay, let me just see.
Host name is different means someone would have installed one more agent, same user. Try to share it. Let's see.
Okay, let me okay this.
Go to view. Yeah, go to view. Select source first.
Yeah, yeah. So maximizing it. Source.
Yeah, view. Oh, here it's not the case. I think I need to select a view button.
Okay, one second.
we view against the source connection, right? There is a view button, right? Pawan.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, you are right. Yeah. So here, runtime environment
Yeah,
9107, right? That
automatically it changed. Okay. Earlier it was
click on
starting
this.
with six something, and when
Yeah,
I
that is the
disconnected and
basic.
connected back, automatically it pulled the new host ID. Okay.
Okay, dynamic, right? Maybe dynamic host name.
Yeah, dynamic. This is a kind of an explanation. Okay, cool.
Fine,
Then
right?
it should work. Yeah, yeah.
It's okay, right? I can take the control back. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Fine. Now you can just say okay. That's it. So you cannot see target fields because we are trying to create a new file at runtime. So whatever the fields that we have in the source, right? All the fields data would get transferred to a target. That's a default behavior, guys. But if you want only some column data out of n number of columns, in that case, we need to have existing file, then map the columns of what is required for the business. Clear? Now save it. Yeah. So now the mapping is valid. Can you see the status of this mapping? So which means whatever configuration that we did so far, right? They're all fine. Yeah. So now we need to verify whether we could able to transfer data from source to a target or not. So to answer that, click on run button. Yes. Can you see here? By default, it's using what? One agent. But we need this one. Whatever is environment that we have, right? So make sure that we specify because I got two agents. So I need to select the right agent, yeah, and click on run. Yeah, and click on my jobs. See, my jobs is just like a monitoring window where we can see the status of this particular mapping. Yeah. So it takes some time to execute. Let's wait for a while. Yeah. So we can refresh. There's a refresh button, right? Click on that. So it is successful. So all the three rows that we have in the source, right? They all have got transferred. Now I'm going to click on this. So I think so far we're all on the same page, right? Yes or no, guys?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Now click on this mapping so that we can see metrics like a what rows that got it from source and how many got transferred to a target, right? If you look at these results, right? Source rows and target rows, no errors here. Yeah? Now other properties. See, this is a mapping name, right? It's a task name we call. See, the difference between the mapping and task is what? Mapping is a template, task is a object. Meaning, through object only we can run. We cannot run direct mapping because internally it is going to create a task and start getting it executed. That's what happens. So, but as such, we cannot run mapping directly. Remember. So we are running it, but internally it's going to create a task. See, instance ID means run ID. First time we executed, right? Yes or no? Next time when you execute, right? Instance ID will be 2. Yeah. Task type is a mapping task. And see, this is the user that we are used to logged in, right? We log on to this cloud by using this mail ID. That's what we can see, which means who started this particular task. That's what it means. And time when it got started and time when it got ended. So, and duration is what? It's a time taken to complete this particular mapping or mapping task. So it took around 15 seconds to complete. Runtime environment we can see here. See, runtime environment is just like a secure agent group. Within that, we can have n number of agents. So, actual agent that we are using over here is what? 666 or whatever. That's it. On the right side, we can see status like success or failure. In this case, it is successful, and how many rows that it got successful, and how many got errored out. So 3 and 0. And session log, if we try to click on download session log, where you will see all step-by-step instructions, and at the end we can see summary statistics where we can see how many are from source, how many transfer to a target, in between is something went wrong, such things also can be seen in the log file. Let us try to open and see what it contains. Yeah, can you see guys, I've just opened this log file where we can see agent group, group name, whatever, all that can be seen here. So, but in case if you get stuck with something, we can always use this log as a base in order to get it troubleshooted. Yeah. Now, at the end, can you see guys, summary information, right? Where we have got source, 3 rows, and target, right? 3 rows got transferred. That's it, which indicates pass through or straight through mapping worked fine without any issues. That's it. Yeah. So with this, we can conclude that our environment is working fine. I hope all of you could able to see the same result as part of session load summary. Yes or no?
Yes.
Perfect. So now let us start getting into what I call transformation part. E and L we did. Now theoretically we talked about E, T is for filter, then L. Now filter transformation, as we all know that, we use it to limit the number
Uh,
of rows. Yeah.
uh, yeah, I do have a question. So we can see runtime environment as our local hosted agent, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the cloud concept is like that our logic entire burden should be taken by the cloud, right? If it's running on the on-prem means, so why we need this one like?
No, on-premise cloud hosted agent is not required, but if you want to transfer data from one cloud environment to other cloud environment, then only cloud hosted agent is going to play a role, or else it's not required.
But now like entire logic and entire mapping is also runs on on-prem only, right? That entire burden will be taken
Yes.
by.
No, in this case, we are running in the local because we are transferring data from local to local. Yes or no? But if you want to transfer data from cloud to cloud, right, then we need to take the help from cloud hosted agent, which will be maintained by whom? Informatica. We don't do that. Clear? Pavan, no?
Okay.
You got the answer or not? If not clear, then ask that question again. Let me elaborate.
No, what I'm asking is like that entire burden is like generally if you are applying some logics and complex logics, that logic has to be run on the cloud environment, right?
Wherever there is agent, right? So in that system only it's going to execute it.
Then Power Center
This
also
is
will
our
do the
local
same thing.
system. Sorry.
Power Center also will do the same thing, right? Entire thing.
Yes.
So we are not going to reduce any burden from the local, right?
We are reducing, right? See, we are not installing it, we are not maintaining it, we are not configuring like in Power Center, right? So we have to install Informatica server, we have to install Informatica client. Yes or no? And then we need to go to admin console to create
Okay.
Power Center reference service, Power Center integration service, or n number of integration service. All that should be done, right? After that, if any changes happens, no, you'll get packs or patches, no. We need to upgrade them. And in case of any maintenance is required, that also we need to maintain. Or if some future fixed packs comes in, those things also we need to upgrade. So these things we have to take care by using separate team, which we call admin team, whatever. But in Informatica Cloud, we have admin activities, but very limited. Like we don't need to install, we don't need to maintain, but we use admin activities only to control data integration operations. Only in that context only we need admin here, otherwise it is not required, right? Not only that, when you let me elaborate. So let us say we are using Informatica Cloud, right? Now I think you got the question because we are using agent, local agent only. But remember, this agent can be installed in a remote cloud, let's say Amazon, yes or no, where we have got some access to some resources. So we can run this particular data integration activity in the cloud itself. In that case, we don't need even local agent also. In that case, what happens? Local will be a cloud environment. You got right? Yes or no? So
Yeah,
which means
got it.
depending upon the number of resources that are required, then we take a call. Can we use our local system to get the job done or not? If not required, then we can go with what? Some other cloud environment where you will have what? Huge number of resources which can be availed just by using one agent or multiple agents. Yeah,
Yeah, got it.
got right? Yeah, fine. Now, that's a good question, guys, because if we try to use local environment, right, then what is the benefit we are getting it from cloud? Yes, we are getting some benefit. We are not installing all that. But do we get the resources coverage better than Power Center? Yes. Like remote cloud, we can use it. Or we can have high-end system here also. But normally, we go with what? Cloud environment. Yeah. Fine. So because now it is very cheap, no? Again, if we try to maintain our own infrastructure, right, like a data center, again we have to have separate team to take care of it. So cost, if we go with the cost wise, right, so usage of this cloud is much better than maintaining our own data center. But there are some cases where we need to maintain, we have to maintain data center by ourselves when when you try to deal with what mission critical applications like especially financial industry, right, where they don't want to disclose what you call many critical things, right. In such cases, they maintain their own data center, yeah, to protect the data. Fine.
Uh,
Here also cloud people they said it can protect it, but we cannot. They cannot guarantee that. Yes, please.
yeah, I have one question. Like in this scenario, we have seen the example in Windows platform from one folder to another folder, we did a file
Yes.
migration. But when it happens from a different system, like if we say Linux to Windows or mainframe to Windows, so in that scenario, how this agent will be, solving that problem exactly? How
It's
we will
very
be over.
simple. See, see, as long as you have access to any systems, mainframe system or remote system where you have a file or whatever, right? If you have
Mhm.
access, no, it can pull the data. That's it.
So you mean to say the agent will have that capability to talk with any system?
Exactly. Provided you need to have
Okay.
access to that.
Okay.
Like for example, let's say that you have one file, one file, and I have one what you call system. Let's say if I provide full control, to my system to anywhere in the world. Then you can
Okay.
also talk to my system to get the data. Yes or no?
Okay, so
We
technology
map the drive.
dependency. Mhm.
Yeah, we map the drive. Once it is
Okay.
mapped, no, we can access, right? Yes or no?
Right. Okay.
So that way we can get the data. Yeah, a simple example I gave, right?
All right. Okay.
Yeah, fine. So now can we move on to the next example?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so now let us create a new mapping. So with the transformation we are going to focus now, right? So click on mappings. Sorry. Click on create. Yeah, source that's the same, but let us try to get the transformation. Please scroll down in the transformations palette or tools palette. Select this filter, drag and drop it onto this line so that it will take care of connectivity automatically. Yeah. So please perform this. Yeah, done, right? Now let's go to source, maximize it, select source. Here you can click on drop down because we have already configured, right? Source and target. So select that source file connection. Then click on select. See, the file appears here. Please select that file. Same as earlier. Earlier we created a connection. Now we are trying to use that connection. Yeah? That's the difference between earlier example with the current example. Yeah? And then say OK. That's it. Yeah? Now click on select. You have already done it, right? It's not required. Yeah? So that's it. So you can just confirm it by clicking on preview data because now we are using it directly, right? So data is same. There is no change, right? So far so good. Yeah? Now restore this and go to filter transformation and maximize it. So incoming fields, we got all of them. And can you see here the type is what string. Let's say we are going to apply numeric operations to perform less than or greater than or less than or equal to whatever by using any relational operator. So to do that, it is always advisable to use what? A numeric type. Numeric type means it could be either integer or a float or a double or d float or whatever the numeric type. Fine. Now, what we need to do? We need to go to source and change meta property. Yeah. So get in here and go to fields and within options we need to select edit metadata, right? So we need to change the type from string to integer or double or whatever, big int or number. Yeah, any one of the numeric type. Yeah, that's it. So assuming that we are going to apply the filter condition based on the first column. Yeah, yeah, and then save it. Yeah, so that's okay. It is invalid mapping because we still have not done it, right? We are yet to do that. Yeah. So click on filter transformation and maximize the screen. Now, if you look at the incoming fields, So now type got changed from string to integer, right? So remember guys, we can still apply the filter condition against with what? String also. But depending upon the type of operation that we are performing, right? It is always advisable to choose the right type so that there won't be any type conversion that would take place from one to another. So we all know that one of the best practice that we follow in any programming language is what? Avoid type conversion or avoid typecasting. Yeah. So that particular coding rule is applicable even in what? ISCS as well. Yeah. Now go to filter option, and can you see here, as part of this filter condition, we could able to see three sub options: simple, advanced, and completely parameterized. Simple means we can just add a column with a type, any type and value. Advanced means we can write our own condition based on what? Compound filter condition, like you've got multiple logical operator, right? And or not, yes or no. By using one or more of these logical operators, one can form a complex filter condition. In such cases, you can go with what? Advanced option. And last one is a completely parameterized. Let us say you are not sure about what you are doing at this point in time while building a condition, and we take that call while running a mapping. In such cases, we can choose what? Completely parameterized. And while running it, we define the condition based on the business expectation, right? Now select simple option and click on plus button to add our own condition, right? Now let us say we are using a C1 column. Can you see guys, within the field name we can say drop down. In that we can select what? Integer type for column 1, right? So please select that.
When I'm trying to change the type of it, it is not allowing me. So what was the right way
Right?
in the source side? Yeah.
Yeah, so what you need to do is, so uh, let me try to show it. Go to source
Mm.
and no, sorry, go to fields, and can you see on the right side options,
Options. Okay.
edit metadata, right?
Edit metadata. Okay.
Yes. Now can just click on it. See, it is modifiable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Decent.
So how about others, guys? I think you're all doing right. So I think total there are 29 participants. Yeah. So I expect questions, lots of questions from you guys. Yeah. Fine. Now click on filter. Yeah. So here we can select C1 column and supply any relational operator. Can you see here? So all the relational operators, right? Equality, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, not equal to. We have got all the relational operators. Let us say we are expecting what? Greater than or equal to or greater than, example. So greater than 1. Yeah. So which means we should get second and third row, because first row contains column 1 has got 1, right? So that should be skipped out because you are trying to limit it based on this condition. Yeah. So please add greater than 1 and restore it. And now configure the target properties. Yeah. I'll just put here target for filter transformation or first filter. Yeah. Incoming fields all are there. and then configure the target. So click on drop down where you can select target file connection and click on select. In this case, we can also select existing target guys if you want it, or else we can create at runtime. So I'll just put here filter target1.txt. Yeah, clear guys?
I have just tried adding a filter and I have given the condition as C1 equals to 1 in the value.
That's fine. Equal or greater than 1 you can put.
Greater than 1. Okay.
Yeah, and save it. That's all. Now mapping name you can supply here. Click on mapping workspace and supply mapping name here. So mapping filter with let's say single filter, right? Yeah, done guys all. Now save it. And run. Yeah. Yeah. Now anyway runtime environment is right one selected. You can see preview, right? Source, filter, and target. Click on run. That's it. Click on my job. So we need to wait for a while. So let's try to refresh it. See guys, we got only 2. So total count is 3, right? So which means we are trying to limit the data based on our own custom condition, right? So now let us try to verify the result in the target folder, right? This one, filter target. So we got only 2 rows, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So for string values, it got enclosed with the double quotes. For numeric, it is not. Clear guys, I hope you all have got the same result in the target. Yes or no?
Yep.
Uh, for me, I just wanted to see on the target side what changes we did.
Okay, nothing. Target, we just specify the connection and file name. That's all. Let us go there. So no, this is a previous one, right? Yeah. So go to target. Yeah. Can you see here? So we just selected connection
Yeah,
and then file name. That's all. Yeah.
connection. Okay.
Yeah.
So here we have given filter target.txt, right?
Yes.
The
Filter
original
target.
file name is sequence.1. So we changed
That's the
it, right?
source. See, source is different from no. Previous example was different. SQL target, right? This is what
Yeah.
filter. We are performing filter operation, right?
Okay. Create. So we created a new one, right? In that. Yeah.
Exactly. Create new at runtime. Yes. Yeah. Done. Now you can just save this and run.
Okay. Now it got valid. Okay. Now running.
Okay. Perfect. Now run it.
The team, hi sir.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. Sir, I have shared the primary feedback link in the chat. I request to all to take the feedback link.
Yeah. Fine. So probably it's now 50 only, right? So we got 10 more minutes. So yeah, probably last 2 minutes they can do it. Is that okay, Manish?
Yeah, in the last 2 minutes people are leaving, so is it possible to take now?
Fine. So I request everyone to fill that place. Yeah.
Okay.
Those who have completed the survey, kindly let us know in the chat box. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So can continue. Yeah. So now let us try to extend. Yeah. So now let us say we need to apply two filters. For every filter, there is going to be a separate target. Yeah. So to do that, so let us try to create a new mapping again. There are two ways to do it. One, we can make a copy of this mapping and get it modified. And second, we can also build it from the scratch. I'm trying to show from the scratch. Probably when you try to build three filters, right? So I'll show it with a copy. Yeah. So click on create. Now same source with two filters now. Yeah. So filter one here, and then add one more filter here. Fine. And for every filter, so we have to have a separate target. So we also need to add one more target. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Now let us try to connect from source to second filter and second filter to a target. Just place the mouse pointer here, left mouse pointer, hold it, and release the mouse pointer when you get into this filter transformation. So that way you can connect, guys. Please connect it. Sorry. Sorry. Now let's configure. Yeah. So maximize this. Go to source. Select source file connection and select a file. SEQ1, same file but two filters. Let's say let's say this sample data contains, let's say one row or set of rows corresponds to supply data, some other set of rows corresponds to vendor data, some other set of rows corresponds to master data, whatever. In such cases, we can build appropriate filter conditions and start capturing the relational target based on the relevant filter conditions. Yeah. So that's where adding multiple filters are going to help us, right? The first part we have done it. Now let's go with the filter transformation. Yeah. So type we need to change it. Let's change the type also. So we should always follow this part, but still it will work. Even for string also we can make it to work, but it's not recommended. Yeah. Edit metadata and then select the type and then now go to filter transformation. Incoming fields that said and type also got changed, and then go to filter, simple filter, let's say we are using it, and select column 1. We'll use same filter for the first target, which is C1 greater than 1. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, and restore this. Now same process need to be repeated for the second filter. Yeah. So let's say incoming fields we got all because we linked it already. Then go to filter and add, let's say C1 less than, and put here less than 2. So first row, we are going to capture here first row. Yeah. So that's it. Now add targets. First target, second target, right? So let's try to add it. So target file connection. Click on select. And add it. Let's say filter target1.txt, which is same as earlier. It will override, guys, in case if you already have a file, right? It's going to override anyway. That's a default behavior. Say okay. See here, there's already exists. So, and then say 1 1 whatever. Yeah. Then say okay. New, right? Existing, it will override. Yeah, fine. Now second target, we need to configure. So target file connection. Then select. Yeah, now if you select exist, we can do it. Let's create a new one. This is filter to target. Filter target to .txt. Yeah. Yeah, last 5 minutes we'll use it for question answers, guys. So you can ask any kind of question. We'll see. So if you don't ask questions, right, I'll try to shoot up some questions. Then say okay. That's it. So we can also click arrange all. See, it will arrange properly, right? See all these 4 transformations, right? They are within proper rectangular box. If you try to draw, right, rectangular, yeah, proper rectangular. Yeah. Now we can save it. Yeah. Now we can also supply the mapping name, mapping underscore two filters. Filter with second. Second is two filters. Yeah. And save it. Yeah. Yeah. Then run it. Yeah. So make sure that you select the right agent. So now let us try to refresh it. See, we got 3 rows. If you click on it, right, where we can see the results. Can you see here? Source 3 rows, one target 2 rows, other target 1 row, which means in target total put together there are 3 rows. That's why the count is here 3. So it is going to sum up all the target rows. Remember that, right? So if you want to look at the session log, we can also look at it. So click on download session log, where we can see these 2 separate targets and corresponding number of rows in it. Yeah. So let us see that. Yeah, can you see, guys? So the source is what? 3 rows. Yes or no? Now first target 2 rows here. Yeah. And second target 1 row. That's it. Yeah. So we can see even in session log also. Same way, we can also take a look at in the target folder also. For example, filter target 1 1, right? Here we can see 2 rows, 4 5 6 7 8 9, because C1 greater than 1. Yeah. And other one is what? Oh, not this. Filter, right? Filter target 2. Yeah. So filter target 2, C1 less than 2. So 1 is less than 2, right? That is why we got 1 row here. Yeah. So this is how we can apply multiple filters and see the effect of it in the relevant targets. Yeah. So that's it, guys. 2 targets. So I hope all of you got the similar result. If not, please let me know, guys. We can look at that problem. Done, guys, all? Yeah. So that's it about filter with 2 targets, because 2 conditions, 2 targets. It's as simple as that. So if you have 10 conditions, we have to have 10 corresponding targets. Okay? So this is how one can start building what? N number of filter conditions with corresponding targets. Yeah? So now, so last, I think time is over, right? Yeah. So yeah, if you have any questions, we can still discuss. Or else we'll stop here, guys. That's fine. We'll stop here. We'll continue from here tomorrow, or we'll start with questions tomorrow. Fine. So thanks to all, guys,
Yep.
and
Thank you.
bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.